Thank you so very much for joining us on this edition of the JohnMayakiShow. We are glad to have you today on the show. Today, we're discussing 2023 presidency, the mischievous lies against Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. Good. Desperate politicians we have noticed are on the prowl. Their assignment is to spill lies. I mean, those terrible lies capable of causing disaffection between the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, and the national leader of the APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If they succeed, it will demarcate both top-ranking members of the party. They say the national leader of APC is avoiding the vice president, or that the vice president has not visited the former governor of Lagos State to show empathy while he was recuperating in UK recently. It's okay. However, in Nigeria today, the politics of 2023 takes center stage. It has become obvious that the nightmare scenario for a number of political actors is for the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, to stand before a camera and make the following declarations: that I accept the call to run for the office of the presidency. The reason is uncomplicated. For these persons who are already having wet dreams of life in Asuvilla, this outcome in which the vice president hits what is now a defining call from virtually every inch of the country to succeed his principal represents a crushing blow. It is a prospect they fear will present them a hurdle to scale. It is Yemi Osinbajo, the professor of law, foremost intellectual, and outstanding public administrator, the one who as Attorney General achieved feats no one else has been able to repeat. This is a vice president who increased the stock and size of the office with his loyal, competent, and unblemished service. How do you compete against that? The argument for his emergence as president is ironclad, best fitting as a natural successor, widely admired and trusted by all. He carries no baggage at all. When the topic is Yemi Osinbajo, Nigerians set aside their partisan leanings and acknowledge that he's a good man. His support is widespread and his support is organic. To many, is a source of inspiration. Others say he has returned the dignity of public service. Today, I told you we are discussing 2023 presidency, the mischievous lies against Professor Yemi Osinbajo. Please, the lines to call are open. They are there displayed on the screen. Feel free to call us and contribute to this show. If you watch Osinbajo's speech and conduct, they elicit the highest form of endorsement from Nigerians, especially parents across the country. Recommendation to their wards that he, the vice president, is worthy of emulation. The manner of love and respect for the vice president transcends politics, natural in origination, compelling in intensity. How do you convince the people otherwise? Even as the man continues to break new grounds. This is what troubles the political actors. It is the cost of their affliction. It's unfortunate. Therefore, to avert this nightmare, they have entered into a frantic race, a war with their own insecurity and apprehensions. With the complexity of a section of the media desperately craving political drama, the purpose is to increase their clicks and sales. They have spent most of their year pitting the vice president against interests and individuals he personally has no problem with. That's quite unfortunate. The latest of the attention-seeking headlines they sponsor to the press is that the vice president has withdrawn from the race. Besides, they immediately sponsored another one that the national leader of the APC, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, snubbed him in London. If you saw, that is, you look at it in this day newspaper. That was yesterday, this day newspaper. Snubbed by Tinubu in London Osinbajo ready for presidential fight of his life. When you look at this headline and you read the story, you just imagine this is a calculated attempt to pitch both leaders against each other. The first question that came to mind is that how can someone renounce what is yet to accept to run? He has not declared intention, whereas people spew the news that he has declined, he has stepped down from the race. We see this purported withdrawal from the 2023 presidential race as mischievous, an outrageous lie, and an absolute falsehood. Secondly, the vice president heard that secondly, you will notice when the president traveled to the UK when he visited the leader of the national leader of the APC, the vice president held forth at the presidency in the absence of the president. And so, making the president trips and consequent visit to the national leader possible, these persons twisted the event and gave it their own conspiratorial interpretations. Instead of deeming the vice president visit a mark of goodwill as any other normal party would, especially after making an extra duties to facilitate the president preceding visit, they chose malice and discord and sold the same to the press. Unfortunately, the press bought into it. Per their reasoning, the fallout of the events in London has forced the vice president to throw his hat in the race and enter into a fight of his life. That is what you see in this day newspaper that was yesterday. Anyone with the littlest knowledge of the vice president knows that he is not one for messy political drama, let alone a desperate fight for a position when it is God and God alone who gives power. The lines are open. Feel free to call us and share your thoughts concerning this topic. The vice president's approach to all things, including politics, is informed by his biblical instruction contained in the book of Romans chapter 12 verse 8. According to the King James Version, it says, "Follow peace and holiness with all men, without which no man shall see the Lord." But I give you a normal version. If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. That is what the Bible says, and that is the belief of the vice president. I am not a spokesman, but I have watched him at close range, and I can see that he is a peaceful man. It's the reason he has successfully built a popular support base that transcends ethnic, religious, regional, and partisan divides. Even his strongest critics attest to his discipline. They attest to his open-mindedness. They attest to his commitment to collective progress. This we cannot deny. The real fight for Osinbajo is for these afflicted persons who need an open conflict to fill their pockets, titillate their crowd, and further their agenda to leave them alone and confront their insecurities. The vice president has a huge task on his hands. I mean the type of work that affects the fate of millions of Nigerians. He needs no further distraction. We want to appeal to every one of us to do whatever we can do to support the vice president in the mandate that is presently serving, and to make sure that those of you in the APC, you guide your party against disintegration. There's nothing to gain from pitting the vice president against the national leader of the APC. Those of us at the JohnMayakiShow see this kind of news report as divisive, and we want to condemn it. It is condemnable. We want to believe that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo are members of the same party. Their relationship dates back, and it will continue to work strong. Let's continue to promote these values. We must continue to promote these values that will engender this healthy relationship as we approach the 2023 general elections. We want to appreciate you for joining us today on this show. This will be all on today's edition of the JohnMayakiShow. Until we come your way again, remember that life is a gift, and that every day you live to witness is an opportunity for you to do something great and also change your destiny. Take charge, take care, bye for now.